majority felt that the institution, and primarily since it is the golden jubilee of the college, it is the college which needs a revamp, it's the college which needs to be different, and we need to look up towards the future. Therefore, I just request all of you all to partner us, be it as, I'm not saying necessarily as financially, but in any way you can, so that we can go ahead with this golden jubilee and make sure it's an absolute success. Though we plan to have a major part of the celebration during August 2013, it will not just be for those few days, it will be a year of celebrations. And with these few words, I invite Father Lawrence, our director, to say a few words on this occasion.
And they should have representation from all sections of society. And therefore it is not only the activity of the alumni, the staff there, the students are there, the public is there, the management is there, alumni is there. And luckily, fortunately, we have an alumni which is very vibrant. Otherwise, how do you understand Dr. Ranga, such a busy cardiologist, spending the whole day here today? We are different. It is something dear to his heart, something very meaningful. Of course, our students and staff, they have come, it is a working day for us. And he has sacrificed his time in order to be here. He was there at 12 o'clock, he is there now. This itself is an example which speaks for itself. So there is a lot of enthusiasm. And therefore, now we start, today afternoon, we bless the foundation stone. And it will be laid sometime in July or August. And then we start the construction activity. Our idea is in 2013, everything should be at the final stage. Normally when we celebrate jubilees, in the jubilee year we lay the foundation stone. Here, most of us, all of us felt that in the jubilee year we should be able to use this facility.
From the alumni point of view, there were a lot of thoughts. Should we contribute towards a patient fund? Should we contribute towards a hostel improvement? Should we? But after a lot of soul searching, I know even now there's a lot of debate which is raging that what should be done. But I think the overall consensus is this, that we should do what the college wants, what the institution wants. That's the most important thing. Not what each one of us will have our own individual ideas, and I think we can still continue to give towards those individual goals. But I think it's overall what the entire, and finally it's not leaving one particular room standing in some particular area. I think we have to decide what the college wants, what all of you want. Or there are lots of you sitting down here and you will realize. Now what we realize is that first and foremost, the building that the infrastructure that requires to be developed is the college. The college is 45-year-old. And there are lots of plans to improve intake, increase the number, and there's a huge requirement for additional teaching space, additional labs. So it's been decided that the college will be given a total new look for the 2013. And this Golden Jubilee block will be a part of that improvement facility, and so that it will correspond to each other.
I think everybody here knows me, so I don't need to introduce myself, I hope. As Reggie said at the outset, 50 years in the life of any institution is a landmark which deserves to be commemorated, and in particularly in our institution. When I say our, I mean it belongs to everyone who has been through this place, whether he or she is an alumnus or a staff member or a paramedic, whatever it is. It belongs to all of us. So it's worth commemorating this because it will not come again. And as he said, the next milestone may be the 100th year. Of course, we hope to be around for the Diamond Jubilee, that is the 60th year. I hope we'll be here. I joined St. John's way back in 1970. So I could say effectively I've been a part of this institution for most of its life. 41st year this is of my association with St. John's, with a break of about 3 years, and I belong to another institution. I'm an alumnus of that institution as well, but my heart is with St. John's. I've been on the faculty, this is my 30th year on the faculty, and I feel proud to say that in the history of my department of surgery, there hasn't been anyone else who has served as long as I have. This, I think, I'm proud of it, and I've been very happy all these years. And the greatest happiness has come for me because of my association with my students. The current batch of postgraduates who joined just about a month or a month and a half ago is the 30th batch of postgraduates that I'm teaching here. And this morning, Father Lawrence told me that I'm looking younger. I am not. And I've had my ups and downs. Those downs have taught me things. But I told Father Lawrence that what makes me feel younger is the atmosphere of St. John's. I always tell my undergraduates and postgraduates that there's something intangible about St. John's that binds you to it. I can't put my finger on it, but it's there. So, as Ranga said, the other point that makes us proud, I think Ranga also will agree with me, is the fact that both of us were actively involved in the Silver Jubilee celebrations in 1988. We were at the helm of affairs then, and I had the privilege of being the Vice President of the Alumni Association at that time. And Ranga, got the DM seat admission at that time and left. So we ran the whole show, and I think it was a grand success. We had a lot of people coming in from all over the world, and we still remember the passion with which the whole celebration was conducted. I think the same kind of passion is necessary now. It's all the more necessary, and I think the degree to which it can be expressed is much greater because St. John's has grown, and the number of people who can contribute towards this effort is far greater than what it was at that time. And this institution has developed in so many ways. I remember when I joined in 70 and maybe 71, 72, there was no such place as Koromangala. We had no restaurants to eat in. We had nothing here, And now, we are sitting in a place which is vibrant, which is alive, which offers everything, which is probably the best real estate that Bangalore has to offer. And various parts of this academy have developed, and we have kept a pace with time so far. And the effort now with this Golden Jubilee celebration is that we keep going, and not just keep going, we keep going in the right direction and rise to whatever levels society may expect from us. Because this institution has been a leader, as we all know, it's been among the top 10 of medical institutions in the country consistently. And we hope to not just remain among the top 10, but to come to the top of the top 10 in the years to come. I have only a few points to say without taking much time. One is to congratulate the management as well as the spearheading team of people with Ranga and Reggie at the helm, and say that this proposal to create and equip a knowledge center is praiseworthy. Two is that the intention to finance it is laudable and it is a generous gesture. Three is that whatever we do, when I say we, it's all of us here, is going to enhance this image of this institution and give back something that, at least a part of what we gained from it. Fourth is, it's an appeal, and that is to carry all sections. I think Father Lawrence has amplified it enough, and so has Ranga and Reggie, to carry all sections of the academy along, because that is what is going to contribute the greatest and the most meaningful way to this celebration and what happens thereafter. Which means that we include non-alumni and garner their willing and constructive cooperation. There are many faculty members here who have served as long as I have, or perhaps longer, and who may not have studied in St. John's, and by definition be alumni. Probably we should redefine that word alumnus, because there are so many staff members who haven't done their medical education at St. John's, but who have contributed in producing alumni. I think that's a much greater contribution than being an alumnus. I think that needs to be recognized, and we need to garner the support of every section of St. John's, particularly the senior faculty, and see that we keep the whole body together to work towards this goal. The next is that I think all developments that occur in connection with this Golden Jubilee should be transparent. I'm sure they will be, so that all of us know what we are doing. All of us can contribute much better if we know what's going on. Not just the financial aspects. The last is, what I want to say is that I know that Ranga and Reggie have said that 1 month's salary is a contribution that one might expect. But there may be differing opinions on this. Some people have expressed these opinions, and I think they have a right to do so. And we have to accept these opinions. So what I would suggest, I don't know whether you accept this suggestion, but I'd like to make it in any case, is don't put a minimum on the contribution. Let anyone who wants to give whatever they want. Similarly, don't put a ceiling on it. Because as Reggie said, a lakh of rupees to somebody may be a drop in the ocean. Whereas 1,000 rupees to somebody else may be, a pound of flesh. So let's not put a minimum, let's not put a ceiling. I'm sure that you can cast your net much wider if you do that. What you receive will be much more than what you would expect. And the cooperation will be much more willing, the contributions will be much more generous. So that is one suggestion that I'd like to make. The last is that this is a facility that there is a need for in this institution. It is a facility that will help in many ways. We know that medical education is, going in a different direction now. The kind of dissections that we used to do in anatomy are no longer relevant. People are beginning to know more at a much earlier stage in their medical education. It is necessary for them to keep abreast so that they can continue to compete with the best of institutions in India and abroad, and that we keep at the top of the medical institutions in India. So the aspect that we need to consider also while we develop this place is the maintenance of it and the recurring expenditure that it will involve. That is something that we should anticipate and we should provide for, so that it keeps going, it keeps improving, and we are able to add on more things to it in the years to come. Thank you very much. Thanks for this kind words. Thank you.
Just to be clear, the simulation center, or as Arun calls it, the stimulation center, is not here, that's why I'm saying that. The thing is like this, the simulation center, as soon as we use that word, immediately we think of virtual reality centers where we do aerobics and like the pilot in the aircraft and all that. We're not talking about that alone. We're talking about basic and advanced simulation centers. We're talking about a skills laboratory where I learn how to palpate a breast abscess, how to do a per rectal examination with different things. There are very simple models for basic and advanced learning. There are some of us here who have already done the homework. We've traveled to Bangkok, for example, we've come back. What is important is that we bring the medical education cell department into this effort, decide quickly, rapidly what we are thinking of in basic and advanced, and then set it up. What Ramesh is talking about is the advanced simulation center, extremely expensive. There are some components which we managed to squeeze in through Dr. Ranga, through Reggie, through other people. But we are talking about how to learn how to suture, how to do an incision and drainage, how to palpate a lymph node, how to do a per rectal examination with different, there are simple models available there, and it is now mandatory, it's not going to come, it's already there. The document is with us. 2011 vision document of MCI says it is mandatory to have a skills laboratory. So whenever somebody tells you, no, but what is this expensive lab which you're talking about? We're not talking about this expensive lab. We're talking about a basic and advanced learning center.